Some footballers become stars. Some footballers become superstars. And then there are the rare few who arrive on the scene and instantly feel different, like the sport itself has accelerated to match them. That is how the world first experienced Kylian Mbappé. Not as a prospect, not as a project, but as a finished weapon, disguised as a teenager. From the first moment he appeared on football's biggest stages, it felt like something irreversible had begun. A new era wasn't coming. It had already arrived. A childhood built on speed and belief. Before the trophies, before the World Cup, and before the global fame, Mbappé was just a boy growing up in Bondy, a suburb of Paris. But even then, there was something different about him. He wasn't just fast. He was unstoppably fast. Coaches would describe it in almost the same way. He doesn't run like other kids, he disappears. His father, Wilfried Mbappé, coached youth football, which meant Kylian grew up surrounded by structure, discipline, and constant exposure to the game. But unlike many talented kids, Mbappé didn't just rely on natural ability. He studied football. He absorbed movement. He learned how defenders think. And most importantly, he understood something early. Speed is only powerful when combined with timing. That idea would later become the foundation of his entire career. The Monaco explosion. When Europe noticed. At AS Monaco, Mbappé didn't slowly grow into the team. He detonated inside it. At just 18 years old, he became a central figure in one of the most exciting attacking teams in Europe. Monaco weren't supposed to win anything major. They were a developing team, a transition team, a stepping stone club. But with Mbappé leading the attack, everything changed. He wasn't just scoring goals. He was destroying defensive systems. Defenders who prepared for tactical discipline suddenly found themselves reacting to chaos. Because Mbappé didn't play predictable football. He played decisive football. One touch, one acceleration, one finish, and the game was over. The Champions League breakthrough. The moment Europe truly panicked came during the Champions League run. In the 2016-17 UEFA Champions League, Monaco stunned the football world. They eliminated elite clubs. They played fearless attacking football. And at the center of it all was Mbappé. He didn't behave like a teenager. He behaved like a player who already understood the final destination. Against elite defenders, he didn't hesitate. He attacked space instantly. He finished with confidence beyond his age. Suddenly, Europe wasn't asking if he was special. They were asking how special. And more importantly, where does he go next? That question was answered when Paris Saint-Germain signed him. The transfer was massive, not just financially, but symbolically. A club built on ambition and global branding had secured the future of French football. At PSG, Mbappé joined an attacking ecosystem already filled with stars. Neymar, Edinson Cavani, later Lionel Messi, but even among legends, something strange happened. Mbappé didn't look like the youngest player. He looked like the most dangerous. Because while others relied on technique or creativity, Mbappé relied on something simpler: execution. The 2018 World Cup, the moment everything changed. No football story about Mbappé can exist without the 2018 FIFA World Cup. This was the moment he became global. France had a strong team, not a perfect one, but Mbappé turned strength into dominance. In knockout matches, he didn't just perform, he overwhelmed entire defenses. Against Argentina, he produced one of the most iconic World Cup performances in modern history. His speed wasn't just physical, it was emotional. Defenders didn't just lose him, they couldn't recover from him. And in the final, he scored again. At 19 years old, Mbappé became a World Cup winner. But more importantly, he became a global reference point. A player no longer compared to others his age, but compared to legends. The burden of being the future. After 2018, something changed. Mbappé was no longer just a rising star. He became the future of football. And that title carries weight. Every performance was analyzed differently. Every missed chance became a headline. Every quiet match became a question. Is he still developing? But the truth was simpler. He wasn't developing anymore. He was already elite. The expectations had simply grown faster than reality. The PSG era. Dominance without closure. At PSG, Mbappé continued producing extraordinary numbers. Goals, assists, decisive performances, domestic dominance. But there was always one missing piece: the Champions League. In multiple campaigns, PSG came close, very close. But football at the highest level is not about almost. It is about finishing the story. And PSG, despite their talent, often couldn't complete the final step. Mbappe carried the weight of expectation in every knockout stage. Sometimes he delivered. Sometimes the team collapsed around him. But the narrative remained the same. He was too good for domestic football, but still searching for ultimate European closure. The Real Madrid dream. The long-standing link to Real Madrid became one of football's biggest ongoing stories. Because Real Madrid represents something unique, not just success, but destiny. For Mbappe, the connection felt inevitable in the eyes of fans. A player built for speed, pressure, and big moments, and a club built for European dominance. But football stories rarely move in straight lines. Negotiations, decisions, and timing shaped a saga that lasted years. And in the middle of it all, Mbappe remained at PSG, still scoring, still dominating, still waiting for the ultimate breakthrough. What makes Mbappe different? Many great players have speed. Many have finishing ability. Many have intelligence. But Mbappe combines all three in a way that feels streamlined, almost efficient. He doesn't dribble for style. He dribbles for advantage. He doesn't shoot for spectacle. He shoots for certainty. He doesn't play to entertain alone. He plays to decide. That is what separates him from most attackers. He doesn't need many chances. He needs one: criticism, pressure, and the modern superstar life. In the modern era, footballers don't just play matches anymore. They exist under constant surveillance, an endless cycle of public evaluation, where every touch of the ball is instantly judged, clipped, and broadcast across the world within seconds. Every movement is clipped. Every mistake is replayed. Every good moment is dissected until it becomes normal. And in that environment, even greatness starts to feel temporary. Kylian Mbappé has lived inside this reality since he was a teenager. From the moment he broke through at AS Monaco and later became a global figure at Paris Saint-Germain, he has experienced every extreme the modern game can produce. Praise that feels like destiny, criticism that feels like impatience, expectations that grow faster than performance can be measured, and constant comparisons to icons like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, two players who didn't just define an era, but stretched the limits of what football greatness looks like. In that shadow, every young superstar is judged differently, not for what they are doing, but for what they are not yet. What often gets lost in this noise is how rare Mbappe's consistency actually is. Very few players in football history manage to produce elite-level output from their teenage years and sustain it into full maturity at the highest level of the sport. Form dips, pressure rises, systems change, defenders adapt, expectations multiply. Most young stars fade, fluctuate, or settle into smaller roles under that weight. Mbappe did not. Season after season, across domestic leagues, European competitions, and international tournaments, he has maintained a level of production that places him permanently in football's highest category, not as a promise anymore, but as a constant. And in a sport where attention shifts quickly and memory is short, that kind of sustained excellence is far more difficult than it looks. Because staying at the top is not just about talent. It is about surviving the pressure of being expected to never fall from it. The legacy still being written. Unlike retired legends, Mbappe's story is still open. That is what makes it powerful. He has already won a World Cup, become a global superstar, dominated domestic football, delivered in countless big moments, but the final chapter, European club glory on the biggest stage, is still unfolding. And that uncertainty is what keeps football fans watching. Because greatness is no longer a question of talent. It is a question of completion. Conclusion: a player who changed the timeline. Kylian Mbappé didn't slowly become a star. He arrived like one. He didn't grow into pressure. He absorbed it instantly. He didn't wait for the future. He became it. From Bondy to Monaco to PSG and the World Cup stage, his journey has always felt like acceleration football speeding up around him, rather than him catching up to it. And whether his story ends with more trophies, more records, or more history, one thing is already certain: football didn't just discover Mbappe. It adjusted itself to him. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.